feels the same. Margins bleed like oil, my listings disappear. AI scans my soul, whispering in my ear. Silicon shadows taking control.
We'll come out of there. So I hope everybody's having a good morning. David's too close to the fire. Yeah, and I woke up late, Harlan, so I didn't have time. I just told Whisk, man. So I don't know if you looked at the thumbnail, Todd. Whisk it makes some crazy thumbnails. It's Google Labs, and so it'll make any picture you tell it. So I just told it the name of the show is a live show. Make it cartoonish. Use me and Dave in it because I don't have one of me and Steve. I need to make one of me and Steve, and make it funny. AI taking over, and it put a robot. Only picture I had was the one they created of us by the van. So there's a robot in front of the van that we're down by the river, and it's attacking us.
Oh, well. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's the same one that if y'all haven't seen Friday Night, do y'all want me to bring that thumbnail back up of me and Dave in a Speedo?
No, it's okay.
That one, that one to see your eyes right there. I'm telling you what. Kenneth, good morning. Phil, good morning. So I hadn't decided what to do with the live show yet. Probably just going to shorten it to an hour or so. Because I got listing I got to get done. Because adding AI into your business. Okay, so the easy answer for most people is how does AI affect your business? It's building every listing. I don't know how list easier. Shout out to the Canadians making such a wonderful product. I list almost probably 99% of items with it. Every now and then there's something that I won't list with it just because I'm doing something and I'm like an item that I've got a history with. I'm like, this will sell. I don't need an AI listing for that one because I have sales history with it or I'm relisting something. But other than that, I know, right, Phil? You know what they say? Phil said the excellent description of the show, shithole. About that makes you guys. Doesn't that make y'all like flies? Always attracted to that kind of shit. You're like okay. So Phil, you're a Texas dung beetle. That's what you are. So Googly McDoubleface found something interesting on Copilot ChatGPT, and it did insert eBay Cassini. What? Craig looks like Craig's just got crabs to have crabs. I suspected that all along. So guys, I've been using ChatGPT and ChatGPT. I've been using it to just bounce decisions off of, track my sales every day, go over numbers, track my listings, and try to get some analytics on how things react to what I'm doing. But it's very good for conversational stuff and keeping track of that kind of stuff, but it struggles to just crunch raw data. And so I've been watching a lot of videos about Claude, and Claude is extremely powerful. They're completely different beasts. And so I'm not a person that deals a lot of, I'm not a Craig. I'm not a programmer. I'm not that computer geek that Craig is. Oops. Todd said, the hell with y'all. Y'all pissed him off.
Oops.
And I've been learning Claude the last few days, and so so every morning I get up, I fill this out. And I'm like, I'm tired of filling this out. AI should be able to at least give me all the numbers, because the one thing that we know about eBay is their reports. Amy, good morning. And Hank, good morning to you too. The rest of y'all, you have to say hello to the ladies. it's the
Yeah.
reports are terrible. Their reports are like, I don't know who made these reports up, but there's nothing that's usable for a reseller. I mean, it's like their reports. Every time they make a report, it's like it's made for a blind man. There's nowhere you can go to get yesterday's results, and it is so bad on eBay that if you go to the eBay app, which a lot of us use the eBay app, you can't look at a picture in time and today and go, well, I'm going to check my sales today. There is no such thing as checking your sales today on eBay because the eBay app doesn't show that stuff. You have to be logged in through a browser in order to see that, which is just insanely stupid. Hey, Sandy, good morning. Um, so Craig, it tells me I should not get a 3D printer. So one of the things if you give a good description of your strengths and weaknesses in the chat, and one of the things that I told is I am very susceptible to shiny objects. So it would be a very big distraction for me, and so I put it off to a future date to decide. Um, uh, Harlan, do you know this by experience? AI dates, do you know this by experience? For those of you who weren't aware, Harlan finally had popped a question, and she did. Where's my phone? I'll show you what. Okay, this will be just like y'all were there. Are y'all ready? I don't know if y'all are ready for this, but this will be just like y'all were there. Where's the Harlan and Marcia text group? Harlan, let's go to dinner. Okay, darling, let's go to dinner. We walk around the corner. There's a big sign out at the beach. Say, "Will you marry me?" So there you go. It's just like you were there. So congratulations to the lovely couple.
Yeah.
We hope they have many years of continued bliss. Just not so sappy around us old married people. We don't need all that in our face. God. I come walking into the living room because Joni got up like an hour and a half before I did, and I kept sleeping because I'd only been asleep for like 3 hours, 2 hours, and I come behind the recliner. I was gonna kiss her good morning, and she ducks out of the way. She's like, "Oh, I thought you had one of the babies you were about to drop on me." Oh, wait, so there you go. There's your romantic from 36 years married. There it is.
Ducking the kisses.
Yeah. So how do you fix these reports and get the information? Well, this was my first. This is old Gen X. This is just me. I'll make a sheet and I'll type it in, and then I'll let Chat GPT go and do whatever. And as you can see, I've done it for a whole month. Man, I've done it for a whole month, and I'm tired of writing. My writing is terrible. As y'all can see, my writing is bad. So enter Claude last night, trying to learn something about co-work and going through some of the rabbit holes of Claude. And now Claude is set up so that if I'm going to give it every morning, I'm going to give it six reports. I'm going to download for both my eBay stores. Each it's going to get the rolling 30-day transaction report, the active listings report, and the pick list, because the pick list sucks. Pick list on eBay sucks. It takes up like 10 pages. Because the only thing I need on a pick list is the item name and the custom SKU, where it's at. That's it. I don't need anything else. But eBay thinks that you need the order number, the day. I mean, there's like 8 things that eBay wants to print out for every one of them. I'm like, I don't need any of that. And then also on the pick list, I want it sorted by location. So on these boxes over here, if 3 customers order out of box 32, I don't want to go to 32 3 different times during the pick. I want to get it the first time. And so what it's going to do every morning is it's going to give me, it made this huge spreadsheet for me. I had it redo it 4 or 5 times till I got it like I wanted it. That basically is this plus 3 other numbers. So every morning it's going to, from those reports, it's going to bring out all the numbers all I have to do is hit copy paste to each of the two numbers it's going to make, and it'll fill out, or the one number it's going to make, because it's going. They're all both stores are in one. So what it's going to give me is a total look at each store plus the combined value of and performance of the complete eBay life that is me, and it's going to give me a pick list for each store, so that um another hand in the show. Yeah, you can only have.
Sorry,
What?
I was cleaning up, I was straightening up, and I moved my camera.
I'm
And so,
sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Scott. I was laughing.
I
oh
know.
no, it's all
His
cool.
camera was too high, and then he fixed it too low, and then he fixed it too high, and then finally.
Shut up,
Because
Todd.
okay, so that's what I'm working on now, is to get the number so I can look at it. And now every morning, after I just run these reports, and I'll have a nice spreadsheet, I'll just drop it in the chat into the regular conversation, and we'll talk about the day. We'll talk about what the frog is, and so I end up spending like 15 minutes. This is a complete 15-minute process. None of this lasts very long. What are you talking about? So is it worth 15 minutes a day in the business? I never used to spend this time looking at the complete business. So it's definitely really focused me on listing. I've listed a bunch more. The other thing that it's going to make my picking a whole lot faster, because now instead of going back and forth to the screen, I just print out one piece of paper. I put a column in it that says picked. So as I pull it, I can just put an X in that box to know that where I'm at, instead of having a. I'm like, instead of crossing out and making all kinds of marks, how about just put an X in a box that says I got it? Um, don't settle for the fact that eBay doesn't give you what you want. You have the ability with these AIs to make it format and do whatever you want it to do. eBay gives you the information everywhere. Beard, I don't know which report, I don't know what. Okay, I didn't either. So I asked Claude, which reports do you need to get all these numbers? And Claude said, I need these 2 reports. Awesome. Can you download them and upload them so I can run them through and make sure they work? I did that last night, and man, except for it, I couldn't get one for Bearded Picker, the eBay store. It's better this morning, but eBay's a cluster this morning. I don't know if y'all realized or not. Late last night, it was having trouble opening the just the regular selling landing page. I ran the report in one store 8 times. It failed all 8 times. It failed 6 out of 7 times in the other store. Half the time it wouldn't open the page. It says, sorry, we're having problems. We can't show the data on the page. eBay was a cluster last night. I had a customer who I was going to give a partial refund to. It wouldn't it wouldn't do anything. Sorry, something seems to have happened here. Sorry, that didn't go like it was supposed to. Well, no shit, eBay.
Well, you need to go ahead and move over to Prairie Dirt Grit, or whatever it's called.
I thought I was going to Macari. What the hell? So Sandy says she had buyers that couldn't purchase last night. Yeah, it was a mess last night, Sandy. I was talking to Dave last night in the middle of the night, and he was saying the same thing, that so it was not just us, Sandy, in our little area of the world here. It was also in California as well. So that must have been site wide. If it's in Alabama, Tennessee, and California, it must be everywhere.
I know the management don't really give a rat's ass at eBay, but the little guy making $12 an hour that have to listen to all these damn complaints from people.
Dude, how many of them did they fire? They just fired 800 employees last week, or the last 10 days.
Maybe they should fire some of the C-suite and start all over again.
Now it's ring a ding 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 ding. Hello, my name is David. How can I help you on eBay today? Um, some dude who has risked his life on a scooter on traffic, dodging cows and cow shit on the road where people will not follow the rules just to get to a room to listen to you bitch about eBay. That guy.
Thanks, Chaz, for the information yesterday. I had to export as a as a
Wow, Sutter's Mill. That's not good. Uh,
transparent.
oh, his name's John. It's not David this time. If y'all have ever watched any of the videos about life in India and trying to drive in India, I watched a couple who did a van life all around the world, and when they went through India, that was the dustiest, dirtiest, most chaotic. I mean, once they got out in the country, it was much more normalized. But those big cities and the way that if there was road construction on one side of the road, they just drove into your lanes, and the blowing of the horns. Their horn broke and they like to have died. They had to stop and actually fix their horn and get it replaced because they blew the horn so much they burnt out the first one in their vehicle, and they felt unsafe without it because of I think that's the national anthem of India is the sound of a horn.
When we were in Russia, by all like where all the stoplights are and whatnot, if you looked over by the pole holding them up, you'd see piles of side view mirrors because they would just knock them off because those lines in the road those weren't law, those were suggestions to where you drive because they drove crazy over there. Is that
I
the UK couple?
I pinged they. It was an older van they drove. It had a name, and there was a big globe on the side of the van. They're currently building a Toyota to do it again. But what were their? She drove all the time, and he did all the video stuff. So it was real weird to see because most of the time, Jody and I go somewhere. I always drive, but she always drove. They're real interesting. They went to some crazy places and met some just the coolest people all over the world. I loved it when they were in Japan. I mean, I want to go to Japan so bad. That is probably my. Joni keeps talking about wanting to just go. I want to go to Puerto Rico. I'm like, the hell with Puerto Rico. I want to go to Japan. If I get over there and all that clean modern society, I might just stay.
I'm having grits with free range bacon. Okay, that's what I'm having this morning, Sue.
What is free range bacon?
I can see little strips out in the field running around.
The hogs were not kept in pens.
You realize you're not supposed to be eating bacon. Bacon is not food.
Are you doing a show?
Yes. But
Scott's getting grabbed out.
yeah, it's we have our issues with driving over here. Like if you come to Charlotte, go to red alert when you hit the city limits because these people cannot drive when it's sunny and 70. But we do have some rules of the road and we pretty much stick to them.
No, I'm not in trouble.
When you go, wait a minute. When you go to other countries, you will see some shit that you've never thought of. The only foreign country that I've been to that they actually drive like real people should was Poland and Australia. And Australia drives on the other side of the road. So, anyway, what were you going to say?
No. So one of the drains is clogged up on the refrigerator, and it has frozen the freezer bottom of the freezer drawer closed. And Jacob needs help getting it open, but they can wait. I'm only going to be on this another 40 minutes, so There's nothing. We've got 2 freezers outside. There's nothing. It's been frozen for. Damn, it's been frozen for a month, so it's not like there's anything in it that's pressing. I need to unclog the drain today. The evaporator drain behind the drawer. No, I just turned the camera off because she has a tendency, because we have a privacy fence behind everything, so she'll wander out here in pajamas or whatever. I'm like,
Well, it's good.
but if eBay will ever get rid of all the crazy errors, and you can before you just have to accept their shortcomings and their stupid reports and mess. But now with these AIs, and each one has a strength. I think Claw's biggest strength is the raw power of crunching data and programming and doing the kind of things that I'm not very good at. So, but I can get it to, but it's the analytics that it can do versus Chat GPT is tremendous. But then you look at it and you start telling it things, and you go, yeah, that's not really my strength. I'm not the conversational one. That really is more of what GPT is. It'll tell you that GPT is better at that sort of thing. Lag is cooking roast. Right. I tell y'all, Lag is a mother of 3, and that's why Lag's not around here at night. The kids get out of school, and she's got to deal with kids. Y'all keep thinking Lag's a dude.
Either that he's a homeschooler and his mama won't let him be on the computer at night.
Well, have you never been to Canada? They seem to drive pretty normal.
I haven't ever been to Canada.
I've been there a couple times. It's been a long time. The last time I was in Canada was before 9/11. You just drove over there, nobody cared. Flag, don't. You've already given yourself away. Don't hand me that.
AI is destroying the world.
So over the week, we had to replace the oven over the weekend. So now Johnny's. I don't know what we're having tonight, but I'm sure it's coming out of the oven because she's looking for any excuse to use her new oven. So that's another AI is a good one. So the thing made a loud kind of buzzing noise and a popping, and the oven went. Everything works, but it won't heat. So I described it, and we went in there and took the bottom plate off, and it turned out the bake element went out. And so I gave it the model number, and chat was able to tell me, what the part number was and bring up some schematics on that model, on that Whirlpool. So we ordered one, and it came in. I replaced it. It still didn't work. And so, we need to find out if there was a fuse good. Okay, chat, where's the fuse? What does it look like? How do I test continuity on a fuse? And so we went through all that, and then it needed to know, is the 220 getting to the block? I don't know. Tell me which one is L1, L2, and L3, and how to measure. It was amazing how easy it was to follow instructions to realize 220 was getting to the block. It was getting to the fuse. It was not going through the element. And when you turned it on, I'm sorry, it was just getting to the block. When it goes, there was nothing calling for it. So it ended up being the control board got backfilled on it and evidently burnt some of the circuits or whatever they are in that thing. So that thing was $350 more. So we decided not to put $450 into an oven that was already 9.5 years old.
Smart thinking.
When Costco had the $1,500 one, she wanted it on sale for $9.99. It was $500 off. Another tip: if you have a Costco membership, it was the same price. GE had it on sale. It must be changing models. It's the same price at Lowe's, Home Depot, and Costco. Why do you buy it at Costco? Anybody know?
I don't shop at Costco, so why?
Lowe's wanted to charge $79 delivery fee.
Mm-hmm.
I never checked into Home Depot, but I'm sure they probably. I don't know if theirs is a delivery fee or they have it if they're free, if they have a delivery charge. Costco comes in, installs it, and removes it for free, Tom, and they double the warranty. So instead of a 1-year warranty, it's got a 2-year warranty.
Cool.
on most products. So those are some of my Jody and I passed those videos around. Those are some of my favorite. Man, look at Sue. She was typing the answer as fast as she could go. Yeah, it's the longer warranty, and the free takeaway and delivery is 100% why. When it's the same price, it's really cheaper at Costco.
See, I never pay for delivery at Lowe's because also when they start telling me the prices and say give me all the figures, I'm like, okay, I need to run down here to Home Depot, and we've got Queen City appliances and all that kind of stuff. And then they'll say, well, I'll tell you what, we'll give you free delivery. Remember that.
So the videos we like to send around are, man, the appliances from the 50s and early 60s are just what refrigerators and there's a cool one. I forget what the name of the oven is, but it's got uh, man, the stove is incredible. Those are some of the absolute just. Johnny really likes the stoves, and where it'll you lift it up and it'll cook bacon underneath it. It's got all kinds of things on it. I like the refrigerators because the refrigerators are way cool for the time.
Right.
Yeah, plus cash back for Costco. Um,
See, we don't have any Costco's local. It takes us like 30 minutes or longer to get to a Costco.
okay, LS Basher. Here's the way I think about suggested rate for promoted listings. Would do you just naturally take a salesman at their word? If a salesman says, "I think you should pay this," is that what you pay? Because why in the world would I listen to eBay tell me what they think I should promote at? I understand they have the data, and most people would say they have the data, but the one thing I would tell you is they have a vested interest to up the price. It's not an accident that as eBay, as they kept pushing promoted listings, I understand more and more people use it, but I rarely see a suggested promoted rate less than 8%. Rarely. Most of the time it's 9 to 12. So if I was at eBay and I knew this was what was driving a lot of my financial numbers to make my shareholders and stockholders happy, the one thing I know I would do is not tell you how I got to that number and artificially inflate it. So I flat rate the media stores at like 3.1. I use Promo Nomo. Shout out to Corey for the other one, and it starts out at 3%. At 90 days, it goes to 5%, and at 150 days, I think is what I said at, it goes to like 7%. So there you go. That's just how I do it. I mean, I picked 3.1 because I figured there'd be a lot of twos and threes. A lot of people going, well, I'm going to do 3 just to get ahead of the twos. And I'm like, well, I'm going to do 3.1 to get ahead of the threes and to get ahead of the twos. There you go.
Hey, good morning, Steve. Todd, what do you promote at?
What?
What do you promote at, Todd?
Mm-hmm.
I promoted 4.
Steve does 4.
But when I was growing up, every appliance in our house was a Kenmore. And that's all my dad and mom bought were Kenmores, which is a Sears brand, if y'all didn't, for those that didn't know.
Doesn't Whirlpool make them now?
Yeah.
Or
I actually think Whirlpool made them back then.
is there even a Kenmore brand left
No.
anymore? I don't think there is. Yeah.
If you go to buy parts for Kenmore, you get Whirlpool.
Yeah.
Part numbers, yeah.
But we did.
Whirlpool makes a lot of them for sure. There were like 2 or 3 brands, or 4 brands, or 5 brands.
Kenmore and Craftsman Tools kept Sears alive. You didn't go there for fashion.
So Sutter's Mill says set at half at 7, half at 2%. Interesting. So do you do that based on the length of time? Because you just said a minute ago that you track their sales because you're putting everything a certain amount, 50% off. I just have to be careful with the media store because for 2 reasons with the media store, it's got thinner margins. And so the higher the price, it really eats into the profit. And then Um, the longer, just because something has been on there, the craziness that was yesterday. Um, so yesterday, let's look at all orders. I had one customer yesterday. These items have been listed for exactly yesterday, and they sold yesterday. Somebody bought 4 CDs, buy three get one free. The Impact, Stand Firm, Southern Gospel. The Isaacs, Something to Remember, Southern Gospel on Morningstar Records. Heaven Bound, another Southern Gospel from the and Palmetto State Quartet. They bought 4 different Southern Gospel CDs. These came in a box that I got at the auction, the Little Tennessee auction, Van Massey. I never heard of any of those 4, and so the $5 box is already in the profit. But it's how do you know that buyer just happened to run into those? If that person's not there, how long do you wait to sell the Stylistics or whoever they were to stop the Palmetto? There's some things that are just so odd that there's a market out there for them. But
Oh my god, that thumbnail.
you like that with the robot?
No. No, actually, it's pretty good.
Steve, did you make the toothpaste dispenser yet?
No. And the answer to your question, I've done some experimenting. Eye hooks. So much better. Eye hooks, so much better.
I sent him a link, which he said he had already seen it. It's a guy that made a Shrek toothpaste dispenser, and it comes out of his butt, toothpaste. So I told him, I said, you ought to take the Bigfoot and make it into a toothpaste dispenser. Every little boy in the world would have to have one.
Problem is cleaning those things, and
that's what I.
So Amy, here's my thought behind that is I like picking up that kind of stuff because the odder the better. If I'm like the thrift stores, we're at the end of the month and the first of the month, so there's 4 of them in town. 2 of them are half price last weekend. 2 of them are this weekend. So I'm gonna go and pick up all that. If you scan it and nothing comes up in the souls, but it's got a barcode, it's by a decent. Even if it doesn't have a barcode, I've had good luck with it. I buy those because remember your local thrift store, your local store, might not have somebody. What was the name of those folks again? Might not have somebody that wants the Impacts, the Isaacs, or the Palmetto State Quartet. But it doesn't mean, we make the assumption that that's not a desirable CD because nobody in your locality wants it. But that doesn't mean that, they're not fans of these groups and they're not people. Remember, chances of you being able to stream the Palmetto group are slim and none, I would think. The more obscure they get, the harder they are to find streaming. And so you've got 2 factors coming into it. There is a huge push right now back into physical media because people are subscription weary. They are, if you look at Netflix, got everybody tricked. Netflix had it for $8.99 and you had access to everything. And Netflix had this huge subscription base. And then everybody goes, well, we're tired of giving Netflix all the money. Let's make Disney Plus. Let's make blah, blah, blah. And now we are subscription to death, paying more than we ever were for cable for less because we just wanted the one show that you have to, or the one channel that you have to subscribe to hear. So people are tired of that. So the media especially.
But these like Netflix and the Disney Plus, Hulu, whatnot. After a month, you've seen everything that you want to see.
Oh, no doubt.
And people are too lazy to cancel the stuff. Even though Hulu, you get it, don't you get that free with Walmart Plus?
No, Walmart Plus is Paramount.
Oh, is that Paramount?
Mm.
But
and so you've got the 2 things going. You've got people that are tired of subscription. You've also got people that are looking for some of these items because it won't stream and they would like to listen to it. It happens a lot with classical music and music that is not mainstream. It's anything. If it's not Britney Spears being produced for the masses and the zombies that are following that kind of stuff, it gets harder to find some of these artists. Now I would say Apple Music has gotten a lot better about the newer stuff because there's a couple of people that I found on TikTok that I like their music, and so I've been. They are actually on Apple Music, which was very shocking. But the older it is, the chances of that demand being pushed over there, I find have been very hit or miss. And so let's see, it's so who else am I shipping today? Please pack with bubble wrap to avoid damage to the CD. The the Beatles and the Moffats. Who the hell are the Moffats?
No idea.
Um,
But
It was Kermit and Miss Piggy and
and then somebody bought a bunch of DVDs. They bought $107 worth of DVDs. Holy crap!
Must
One,
be
two,
nice.
three, four. They bought the four the buy two get two free, and then they bought the CDs buy three get one free. No, they bought how many items in total did they buy? 13 items. Holy crap!
Wow, nice.
That's absolutely amazing. But they got two different Backstreet Boys. They got four different Backstreet. Sorry, Harlan. It looks like they bought all my Backstreet Boys. Sorry, Harlan. Um,
That
uh,
strikes back.
Dirty Dancing and Platinum Christmas, and just
Just
the
pretty
randomness.
random
The
stuff.
people's tastes are just, and that's the other thing. People have such varied taste in music, and I fall into that category. Like, one day I'll be listening to country, the next minute I'll be listening to 80s college music or hair metal from the 80s or a lot of the 90s stuff like Toad the Wet Sprocket or there'll be some days I'll like I just want to zone out. It'll be 70s, it'll be yacht rock. I listened to yacht rock for oh my god for like 6 months last year. And I'll go off and to listen to the Frank Sinatra and those guys too. I mean, I don't listen to rap. That's about the only one.
backing up to the movies for a second. I was reading an article and they were talking about some movies and some old TV series were not structured so they can move them into the streaming service because of all the rights to the actors, special agreements they had with them, and just how that whole structure was set up.
And
They will not be able to list it on streaming until it runs into unless somebody buys up all the rights from everybody involved in it. They won't ever be able to stream it.
so does that happen to more like have ensemble cast like maybe the Golden Girls or Designing Women? You don't see them a lot streamed.
They're just they're like Apple. They're trying to keep control of their market, the Golden Girls and those. But no, it's more the older stuff like from the 70s, 80s. When streaming was
Like a Bewitched, and each one of them have contracts, and you
yeah
have to deal with their agents and
yeah.
their
And all it
estate
and all it'll take is one person
to say nope.
to say no because the money's not good enough.
I don't care
And
what you say. One of the funniest TV shows. Johnny watched them. The Golden Girls. Oh my God, that was one of the funniest TV shows. Uh when there was a lot of times that you'd be watching it and they'd be cracking up because Betty White would go off script. I watched one and sent it to Joni. I'm like, do you remember this one? Whenever she was talking about something about a circus and oh my God, and she just went off and on this tangent about some crazy little um and Rue McClanahan and what's her name were just covered their faces. They were laughing. They couldn't stop.
I
I
love
mean,
Blanche.
uh,
Yes.
yeah, but yeah,
Good morning, Corey.
you really can get a lot of information that eBay doesn't provide, and I think that's where is what I'm trying to build into what I do every day, so that I get the data I feel that I need in order to run my business and to give me direction on where I'm going, and it takes both of them. So I was trying to decide between Chat GPT and Claude, and I'm like, yeah, there is a definite use case. Like is it worth the $20 a month for Claude to crunch all the numbers and especially that pick list? And I'm thinking, maybe not today. Maybe I because I got all this media here, but within the next few weeks, I'm gonna push all this to a storage building, and then now all of a sudden, I don't sit here with a computer and go here. I'm down the street. How do I make it easy for myself to pull these items out of a storage unit um, when I can't just run over to the computer and look again to see what was the name? What was the name of that CD I'm looking for? Because it'll be some obscure artist, especially classical. And the classical, it'll be listed by the main guy in it, and then who they're playing, like some kind of Mozart. But it's hard to find that disc because the person's name is not. It'll just say Mozart A or Mozart and C or whatever, and you're looking for the person's name, and the person's name's not there. And there's some foreign titles. I'm not good at reading foreign. Last week I saw 3 or 4 different discs that were whatever language is from Israel, whatever that script is. There's Dave's been selling some Japanese stuff, Korean stuff that came out of these pallets.
Did you know that Hugh Laurie put out a jazz CD, a blues jazz CD?
No kidding.
He was Doc, right? I mean, what was his name?
House.
He did a
This
lot.
is crazy. I've been doing a lot more media lately because, well, it's easy to find. Number one, it's cheap, and I just happened to come across that one. It's not worth a great deal of money, but I picked it up just because it was Hugh Laurie.
Yeah, like yesterday when I shipped, I had a stack of like 22 items to ship, and it was no bigger than like, I don't know, 12 inches wide by 8 inches tall by 12 by 12 by 8. It would fit in a 12 by 12, but all of it would fit in that box. The Bible was the biggest thing on there, and it was $325 in sales in that little bitty stack. That's the thing that is for the future, and for it's not about the per piece revenue right this second. It's about building enough inventory that it sells a certain amount every day, and having the inventory pay for itself as it goes. So as it sits here, it's already paid for. Mark, I'm not high, not yet.
I'm not low. I don't know. You guys hear me fine?
I can hear you fine.
I have so many problems with this stupid thing.
Yes, Timothy, I don't send out any cases correct.
I
So,
do only because I don't have any replacements right now.
so I found some at a thrift store, and so I bought a bunch of like CDRs or something too. So I've been just throwing the disc away and using those cases. But one of my thrift stores, they don't even, half the time don't even look, or people steal the disc out of it. And so as I'm looking through, and if I was something I was going to buy and it doesn't have a disc, I'll leave it to the side, and they'll just give those to me. So I take it helps them not have people return or carry on about discs not being in there. And so it clears the shelf of the mess that they can't sell anyway. And it gives me extra discs. So
Scott took that disc out and put it behind the right disc in another case so he could get that case for free.
that you would think of that means that you've probably done that.
No, because I don't buy CDs or DVDs. Well, I take that back. I bought a bunch. I've got probably 300 I need to get listed. Um, by the way, good morning, Bridget. No, Steve sounds fine, at least to me.
I don't know. I quit worrying about it.
You sound fine. You sound better than Scott does.
I always sound better than Scott.
And I have no control locally over. Other than I can change his name, I can remove him, or I can mute him.
And
I can't volume
up radio.
I cannot volume
I
up.
can turn it up. I can turn it up, but then I get into too much gain. There. How's that?
But it truly is the question I have for you is, if you're not using AI in your business right now, just think about what is available to you now and what other people are using this for, and all this stuff that wasn't here 6 months ago, 8 months ago, and you're now behind. if you don't start thinking about it and don't start using your imagination to come up with ways that you can use some of these things to keep even or stay ahead of your competition, where are you going to be in 6 months? In 2027, when we sit here and talk about how has your business changed in 2026, are you still going to be in 2018 with Todd?
Yes.
Although Todd is using AI listing, which has been amazing. I've been very proud of Todd for he's been listing his records and missed. I had somebody, Todd, Sunday morning by 13 45s.
Sweet.
I know. I only paid $150 for the whole lot, and he spent $130 in one shot.
I'm in the profit, and I've still got.
Oh, I'm waiting. I'm
I've,
waiting.
al-
I'm waiting.
I'm in the profit, and I've only sold 10 out of the 200 or so that I got.
Yeah, I haven't even listed. There's 12 boxes over there. We've only listed 4.
Ping. John is talking about my hat. Ping G hat. See,
I didn't realize you
and you
were a
get those
golfer.
out of the. You get those. No, I'm not. You get those out of the Goodwill bins. That's where you get them.
You're either a golfer or a real big fan of ping, one or the other.
Both.
Okay, so there we go.
No, I'm a fan of hats that actually fit, and this one fits.
Right.
It makes
But-
me look more intelligent too. I think because golfers have to be a little bit more high end.
No, they don't.
Oh,
When I golf, you can't tell any. When I go out for a round of golf, you can't tell the difference whether I am golfing or if I'm looking for Sasquatch. Because I stay in the trees and all the outskirts of the course where he would be anyway, so I could be squatching and golfing at the same time.
There you go.
well, that's pretty much the way it goes, isn't it?
What's that?
I
What's
like
the
to golf, but
what's
I like
the
to
other
golf, but
thing?
my back does not like it.
Golf was a walk sport or whatever he said. I do like it, but I just don't ever take the time to. I don't know anybody that golfs, so who knows?
When
That's
I was
the
doing
thing with golf.
construction,
If you haven't got a crew to go with, it's not near as much fun.
when I was doing construction, we have Carter. I don't know if you guys got Carter Lumbers.
Yeah.
Carter Lumber would pay for us to go. They'd have an outing once a year for a lot of the contractors, and that's the only time I went out golf. But man, was it a good time! It didn't matter if you knew how to golf or not; it was still a good time.
Yeah, this makes no sense. I felt like I walked more yesterday than I did, and the number of steps on Monday I did not even wear my watch, and didn't feel like I walked that much, and it's a certain number. And yesterday I felt like I moved around more, and it's less, and I have my watch on it. I think the watch counts steps less than just the actual phone itself does. What's the real number?
People's going to think Scott's a crazy old person. He's walking around 1, 2, 3,
No,
4
he ain't.
steps.
What did we do before we could count steps?
My ADHD don't allow that. I'll get to about 7 and go, now, is that a squirrel or is that a groundhog? And that'll be whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd
Well,
get to
and the
5
girl,
and I'd have to sit down.
that's very kind. You might be the only one. Phil didn't miss us. Phil said that we were turds or something right to start. But it's the business is changing so much. It's there's you look at it. I really think it's going to be main. As much as I think List Easier and those kind of programs are going to become mainstream in the next 2 to 3 years, I also think the finding what value is going to be mainstream in the next. A lot of people talk about it, taking a picture of the book and uploading it to Chat GPT or one of them and saying, which of these is any of these worth more than so and so on eBay. Or any of these have sold values of higher than whatever, and letting it look for you. I think that kind of knowledge is going to get easier to find. I still think the one thing that's everybody goes, oh, that's going to be the end of reselling. It's not going to be. It's just going to be easier for us. I don't think that's going to, because at the end of the day, I'm using AI to list. That just means I'm now shipping more, and so the work has shifted to some other where, because the more you list, big shot, the more you sell. Um, and so it is still a grind. It is still. I'm not going to call it a hustle anymore. I don't think reselling is a hustle, because I think hustle is used as a negative term. We talked about that on the whatever the hell Corey calls that thing on Tuesdays at 12:30. Um,
Hold on just a second. We have a candidate. Her name is Vilma Leak. She's been on our county council for years, and she was always, uh, she was always the one. She got kicked out of the her seat yesterday by Manifa Drayton, who is also a Democrat. I can't believe that. That is something else. I'm sorry. That if you live in Mecklenburg County, that's a big thing. Um,
I should have just kicked him right out the screen, shouldn't I?
you should have. I cannot believe that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like the Manifa showed up. We got 6 more weeks of winter. Um, it's
Where,
Manifa
where's the
Shaw,
damn Republicans at?
Manifa Shaw Shadow, 6 weeks of winter.
Yeah.
Um, it's because we really got to the discussion. It came from the Trash to Cash podcast about, and there's been a lot of people talking about is reselling a true business. I'll go ahead and answer that for you. According to any definition, reselling is a true business. I'll go ahead and answer that for you right now. Yes. Don't bring any of the it's a hustle or any other crazy. It's a side hustle. It's a this. It's a that. Whether you wanted to, the government defines it as a business. The dictionary, everybody defines it as a business, except for that YouTuber that wants clicks. And I'm not picking any particular one, because this is something that's been talked about for quite a while. It's not new to this space on YouTube, and because it gets people up in arms. And the reason everyone looks different, people can get away with saying a lot of these things because for most people, this is your first step into being an entrepreneur. This is your first step into owning your own business and being self-employed, whether your goals are smaller or larger. That doesn't matter. It's still a business, whether you want it to be or not. Um, and so yeah, I'm
When
really
did hustle become a bad thing? You remember?
it really has become to denote negative in this space.
That
And
doesn't, like, what's his name? Pirate out in California? Storage auction pirate. His motto was hustle, grind, rewind. Hustle, grind, rewind. He said it every video for years.
Josh, it's failing. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to cancel my subscription to List Easier. It's failing. Uh,
You
I've been
can
mean.
call it
I've
a
been,
hustle, but it's not a bad connotation to me.
If you're doing it for a if you're doing it at all, whether you're doing you've got a reason to do it. You need to make a couple of $100 a month extra so you can take your kids on a vacation next year, or you can take yourself on a vacation next year, or whether you need to have a full-time income. It's all the same thing, you know. A side hustle. Well, is that if you work in part, you working all full time at a job, and then you go and deliver Walmart at night? Is that? I mean,
Who would ever do
you
that?
started a part time job as a gig operator is what happened at that one. And if you're doing it on eBay or some of the other platforms, Poshmark, whatever, they're all fine. You started a small business and let's call it what it is then versus, I think it's also a way to control people is to look negatively upon, because just think how many people in your life since you've been doing this will go, oh, you're just selling on eBay. Well, then you come spend a week in my shoes, asshole, and tell me what you think after a week. Um, I mean, the little media store that I started 6 months. You tell me where this is going to happen. The little media store I'm sitting here looking at that I started 6 months ago. Oops, wrong window. That's the other one. In the last 31 days, 6447 in sales. The last 90 days, $18,000 in sales. We have 8,209 current active listings. We have sold
It's doing
what?
better than my regular store.
We've sold 4,000 titles. That's a pretty decent sell-through rate, no matter what people want to tell you about media. Um, it's sitting here top rated. It is up 11% over the last 31 days because it is continuing to grow. With the new eBay policies, it already has 2,200 feedback. Think about that. 2,200 feedback.
About your comment about talking about like looking down on these side hustles. I think it's just people are just like they're just they're making fun of it because they're too lazy to do it themselves and they know they need to do it.
So
I
this is
think
what
a
this is
lot of
what's
the people who
excited.
use that. Go
In,
ahead.
in 6 months, I expect to double these numbers. And now all of a sudden, now the little store is now doing 12,000 a month, and it's kicking out, $36,000 in 90 days. And I look down at James and go, "You're a terrible reseller, James. Look at me pass you." As you sit around and make AI pictures of boobs of yourself, James. Ha 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 ha.
You can do that.
Uh,
I don't. I hate to say it, Scott, but I don't think you're going to pass James on listings.
Not anytime soon.
I didn't say on listings. I'm talking about on dollars.
On dollar.
Yeah, that's why listings doesn't matter. It's how much money the dollars that's coming in. That's what matters.
Because I have an advantage.
I've noticed a big uptick in media sales on my own store. So
I have a big
media
advantage
is
over James.
definitely good.
James has a large amount of inventory. Okay, yes, he does. But how much of it is optimized for the current environment? He'll tell you the same thing that he is working. There'll be a day when Josh's little company will go back and help you redo all your old listings. And that day, if you listen to him at 11 o'clock, I can't remember he's ever on at 11 o'clock because he never texts me to tell me he's going live. I just miss him. But one of the things they want to do is to be able to take your old listings and optimize them and leave them in place. That would be an amazing service. But until James gets that, I can catch up with him because I can tell you one thing: in that store, every single item has been optimized for AI by AI
Right.
to be sold by AI to be searched by AI.
That would be good, even if you're already optimized today. A year from now, you go back and do all your listings again with List Easier if it does that.
No, 100%. Because the one
That'd
thing,
be awesome. Yeah.
Josh will tell you is version A is better than version B, and then they rebuild it again. Version C is going to be better. And so, what do you do? And if you've got items that have been up a year, you'd be very smart to go, well, I wonder what version F of List Easier would make this listing now, and would it make it to where it's even more optimized? Because they learn as they go, and it would learn. No, you're 100% correct, Steve. It's a good point.
Josh, how do you know Scott sells or lists as much as James? Are you snooping in our use of List Easier?
He can see all the back end. He probably he pushes a button over there and it runs a report about who the top listers are.
Oh, he's sneaky like that, huh?
Yeah,
I'm in the
Dang,
list
Canadians.
of the bottom.
It's called data.
I list all my media with List Easier because it's just easier.
We can see
Everything else
data
is through on
packets.
my own.
Okay.
they can't see actually what you're doing. They can just see packets.
So
I'm sure he lists more. He lists more than I do, but I'm okay with that. That's the other thing is I can talk about James. I consider James a good guy. We kid back and forth, but never compare yourself. The comparison is a killer. You want to kill your motivation.
I was just
You want to kill your motivation. You want to kill drive, desire, all those kind of things. Start comparing yourself to everybody else. It is, who you compare yourself to? One person, to yourself. You'll be much happier in life and in everything. there's a reason why in the good book it talks about do not envy and covet, and all those things are pretty early on when I'm listening to the Bible in the year again, and I'm going through Deuteronomy and Numbers, and there's a reason why we are told that early on. These things are not good for you. They are not good for a group of people, but especially not for you individually. Been some interesting TikToks been coming across my TikTok lately uh, about different interpretations of the Bible and why it tells you certain things about, especially the power of the mind and the philosophies behind a lot of the way things seem to work. They're figuring out that it's way more smarter for us than we think it is. But yeah, that's where I'm at with AI. I'm really excited about the numbers I get, the numbers I use, and how do you control all this? When I get larger and larger and more items and more things, you know, I see a point to where I start tracking supplies and everything else because I need to understand that I've shipped 100 items. That means 100 envelopes are gone. It's time to reorder. Yeah, but it's got to be very simple. Yeah, you've got to make it, Corey, to where it's advantageous for both of you. And like Dave and I kid around and carry on a lot. Both building media stores, but even between me and Dave, they're completely different in the way we've gone about it. I've learned a lot from him, and I hope that he's learned some things from me. But it's motivating to tease and go back and forth. But it's you know I see some of the things he does, and I see the advantage of it, but I look at it and go, I'm not built that way. I couldn't do it that way. And so you got to don't forget who you are. We got to.
Dave's not here, man.
Here's get some activity in his chat because it's dying over there. Who remembers Record Seller?
So
Who is Dave?
That place it was a record store. The big black LPs, for those that don't know.
You mean like the record bar?
Yeah.
Oh, seller with a C.
Yeah, CELLAR.
Yeah.
I don't remember Record Seller, but I remember Record Bar. I remember that was the one in Greenville. And the malls in Eastern North Carolina was the Record Bar.
I don't remember the name of the record store around here, but we had one.
That place would be packed on Friday and Saturday nights.
Sorry. I remember going in just before the store. It was in the mall, just before our record store shut down, and looking through all the albums and the CDs because they had CDs at the time. And
I remember Camelot Music.
Finding my brother's CD in there, that was pretty sweet.
Your brother, was he a singer?
My brother has a band. Well, he has a band. Yeah, well, he did. It was pretty cool though because you could find anything in those stores back in those days. I remember a copy of it.
I had to Google it. I remember Musicland. We didn't have a Tower Records. We didn't have a Sam Goody.
I don't think we had those.
Our Sam Goody's wasn't a mall store. It was in a strip center, and it was big. But apparently vinyl is making a comeback.
Yeah, so I Googled it and it said, don't forget the big stores like it. A lot of people bought their music at Kmart back in the day.
That's where most of my stuff came from.
I remember Kmart having a huge section for their media section was huge back in the day.
I remember distinctly my grandma buying me my first Ronnie Milsap cassette at Kmart, and it was out of the bargain bin because.
Yeah, every time I listen and see or sell Ronnie Milsap, I think about you, Steve.
Yeah, there you go.
Were you a big Ronnie Millsap fan?
Still am, yeah.
Yeah, he. I think somebody bought two the other day. I'm like, is this Steve's alter ego?
No.
Hmm.
We got to see him in concert in Lorain, Ohio, but he's towards the end of his career. In fact, he's retired now, but he was so close to the end of his career, and it was the week after his son died unexpectedly, and he's still out there trying to tour, you know. So it wasn't the greatest show, but the longer it went on, Lori Morgan opened for him. She was pretty
Okay.
good.
Did Meatloaf die?
I think so.
The singer Meatloaf.
I thought it.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
a while ago.
Because I saw
January 20th, 2022.
I was watching a TV series that I've been following, and it's Trent something or other, and the episode was this gangster had his urn with his ashes in it, and I'm going, I didn't even know he died.
Yeah, that was quite a while ago.
Sue, what were the bleeped ones? Did they actually have bleeps over the cuss words?
Yeah, there were. Remember, they went through a time where CDs and stuff would you get the regular version or the explicit version,
Right.
the version with and without cuss words. Yeah. Oh wow, Sandy, depends on who they are. That can be a very big score.
New Sealed, yeah.
Just remember, you stay over there in Limestone County with all your bad drivers.
Oh, she down in your neck of the woods?
I'm finding it pretty easy in my area to. DVDs are a little harder because more people go through those, but the CDs nobody ever goes through at my local
And if
stores,
they-
and they're basically giving them away. You know,
Well, if they do, they're looking for the easy 80s metal, the heavy,
the
you know,
early hip hop, that kind of stuff. Yeah,
and
Rap.
you know that's why the pallets were okay to buy, because even people go, "Oh man, you're crazy for buying pallets. Everybody's done picked through them." And what's your point? You know, look at the four gospel I sold yesterday.
I bought a bunch yesterday.
Nobody would have bought those.
I bought a bunch yesterday. I have no idea who they are.
Chassie, did Joni
None of
just
them.
text you to tell you I was over the hour mark? Damn
This
it!
is the one I sold one the other day. Now I've had it listed for a while, but it was some guy I had never heard of in my life, and it sold.
That happens with the media stores getting so big now. That happens every day. It seems like.
Most of the ones I sell are people I'd never heard of.
I mean, let's
I'm starting to move towards media only because it's so much easier right now for me in this time of year where there's no yard sales and things.
Tom Waits, that's a good one. Victor Wood, I saw yesterday. Who the hell is Victor Wood? That's the best of and what's of this? So many CDs and stuff are the best of somebody who I've never even heard of these people. The best of Victor Wood. Who was Victor Wood?
James Maddock. James Maddock was the guy I saw.
Here's one was a rock alternative group called the Tea Party. The person was very interested to know if it's the lenticular case, which it was. They bought it. I'd never heard of the Tea Party. I could barely read it on the case.
It was a good political movement, but maybe a little misguided.
The Good Shepherd Quartet. You should see that crew. Look like they're straight from the '80s. The Good Shepherd Quartet.
But you know what? I've had people ask me, like friends of my mom and whatnot, if I have any albums from the gospel groups from the '60s and '70s, when the guys have got the god awful suits on.
Yeah.
The lime green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And see, they only made like 500 or 600 of them because they only sold them when they were doing concerts.
My pastor in the '80s put out his own album. Well, the only place he ever sold it was our own church. You find it every once in a while, though. I have a couple copies, but yeah, it's kind of funny that But that stuff doesn't get streamed. That stuff, and somebody looking for it, it might take a while to sell. But
Somebody's locked in a bathroom at Walmart in Limestone County.
Yeah.
I'm not going to
How do you
Athens.
get locked in the bathroom?
Well, if you're in the family
The door
bathroom,
doesn't have a lock.
the family bathroom it does. The family one in the back.
I used when I was doing Spark deliveries, and I needed to hurry up and use the bathroom. I always chose the family bathroom because nobody was ever in there. It's quicker and easier to get in and out. The employees like to take their break in the bathroom.
So this weekend I saw Raffi. Never heard of Raffi in concert, and then the same.
I've actually heard of Raffi.
The same person bought Kim Young Dong Wind Songs and Arden Wilkin Music for Healing. I had one person buy 6 Christian. Well, I'd heard all the Christian, but it's just the Gospel Legends DVD. If you sell some of the stuff like the person that bought R. Kelly, do you think? I wonder if they're a pervert too.
Yeah. Here's my last 4 media sales.
The Happy Good Ones.
Oh yeah, the Happy Good Ones came to my church. They were really good.
They lived a mile away from me.
Yeah, they came when I was a kid. They made a couple visits. They used to tour churches, and they made a couple visits to our churches. My grandma bought their album. Yeah. So here's my last 4 media sales. The Sterling Legend, The Facts Behind the Lost Dutchman Mine. I didn't want to sell that one. I wanted to keep it, but that was a book. James Maddox, Sunrise on Avenue C, audio CD. Valley of Gwangi DVD, 1969. It was a real rare. And Reefer Madness DVD. I didn't want to sell my Reefer Madness DVD.
That's important, Lag. If you're going to blow it up, you might as well have some peace and comfort and blow it up one time.
Good morning, Marcia.
I went through my personal collection, and Reefer Madness was in there. So I finally let go of it. I'll find it.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff here that I collect that I put it we get listed. Like I was in the late '80s in college music, I was a big fan of the Replacements. We had a bunch of replacement CDs, and a few of them are new, and I'm like, man, I don't want to list the Replacements. And they've all sold except for like 2. And I'm
that was part of my issue is I find something I really like. I don't watch DVDs, but I keep them because I really like it. Now I won't sell my collection of Herbie movies. That's not going to happen.
I mean, we've got Apple Music, and I listen to the Replacements on the regular, but and it is much more convenient. I get it, but there's just.
But I'm surprised at all the media that I've actually been selling lately. So
yeah, a lot of that music I listen to, the Bodines, Husker Du, all the Smithereens is sold. The Smiths, especially the Smiths, has a huge following still. There, if you see Smiths music, there's value in the Smiths for sure.
Marcia's like Camelot, Memory Unlocked. I'm assuming she's talking about Camelot music. You know, that is a really popular genre on YouTube now. Is compilations of like all these old stores, you know, their advertisements and things like that. That it's, I mean, I lived through most of it, so and I've been to most of them either as a child or as a teen, but
so Sutter's Mill, I don't pay any attention to what the others have and what they don't have. So the one thing I can tell you is the architecture on these sites, just from what Josh has said about the difficulty they've had with the UK, it's not as easy as just going, flipping a switch and it's everywhere. It takes some work to.
They do a lot of testing, eBay, on the UK side.
Just
before it comes here, I know that.
Josh, if you're still here, do y'all have a lot of red tape that you have to go through for the UK? Because they have all kinds of laws, rules over there.
We'll give him 20 seconds. All right, so I'm 15 minutes over. So
yeah, I got to go too.
Anybody have any final questions or any final words? I have to go.
Show.
I have to go unclog the drain for the refrigerator so it doesn't freeze again.
Yeah, the refrigerator.
I had to do that a while back. It's not too bad of a deal.
Nah, the hardest part is locating where the drain is.
YouTube. That's how I did it.
No, I'm serious, Tom. I'm serious. The refrigerator there it sits. The drawer's out of the bottom freezer. Jacob got it open. You can see the chunk of
Ooh, you
ice.
got a bottom freezer. It's gonna be
Dang.
harder.
You can see the chunk of ice on the floor.
Check your make. Now, what ended up being the problem with mine wasn't actually the drain. We thought it was. It was a seal around the door, and it looked perfect. But when I
Right.
replaced it, we had no more problems. So that might be another thing you want to look at.
Well, I know it's a drain because even though it's undone right now, it'll be leaking on the floor in a minute. So it's
Yeah.
pushing. It's
Well,
trying to get.
yeah.
And then eventually it leaks so much every day that it freezes the freezer door shut.
Well, that's what it was happening with ours too, and it ended up being the seal because I cleaned the drain out several times.
I've
And-
never cleaned the drain out, and we bought this refrigerator from bought it used, and so we think that might be the reason somebody never unclogged the drain. It might
Plus,
be the reason.
your freezer's on the bottom, so that's a little different. Mine's not.
It happened. The same thing happened to the side by side that's in the garage. Acted the same way.
But it's still
Except-
fairly easy. Once you
Except for
locate
it did
your
not
drain.
freeze the door shut. It eventually so the way a refrigerator works is the freezer air goes into the refrigerator based on and it eventually froze that hole closed. And so the refrigerator side got warm because the cold air could not come over from the freezer to cool off the refrigerator.
Try. Well, if in case of one that you're not using all the time, just unplug it and let it defrost.
No, it's the main refrigerator. I
Okay.
gotta figure out where the drain is and
Just go buy her a new one.
you just got a new stove.
It's going to be it's when stuff like that starts happening, it's going to happen again.
Not if
So
you
just
fix
go
it
buy her a
right.
new one.
Not if you fix it right.
When stuff starts going bad, it goes bad. Look at Todd.
Everyone tune in to Tom tomorrow. He will be and you might see the crabs.
Oh yeah, Pat and I are doing a show tonight too.
Oh, are you?
Please.
I need to
Promise the audio will work this week.
set a reminder because I will forget.
We're talking
So-
about one of the topics is it worth selling 3D printed products on Amazon? So this should be a good topic.
I know, right, JT?
I'm not. I will use something till this gets to be too much of a hassle, and then I will dump that sucker for a new one. Which the new stuff is crap compared to the old stuff.
Are you talking about the refrigerator or your underground?